Today's video we're going to be covering the Easy Pilot Kit from Emax. Now this is a beginner kit that's supposed to give you everything you might need in order for you to start flying FPV. Now what we're going to cover today is if the goggles are actually usable, if there are any problems with the controller, also how are the flight characteristics, and what is the expected flight time of this little brushed micro quadcopter. So first of all, let's start with the controller here. Now the controller is already pre-bound and you don't have to do much to it. The ergonomics is really great. It charges via micro USB, which is a huge addition. That's something really nice here. And you don't need to worry about binding or anything. All you have to do is just basically power this guy on. Make sure this is all the way down and arm it, and also set it in angle mode just like this. There are these two other modes here, which we'll get into it a little bit later. Now, one thing that I was really looking for, especially with this type of controller, usually these cheap plastic controllers have a really big dead zone. So when you go like this, the quadcopter doesn't register anything until you probably deflect all the way to here. However, that's not the case with this. I didn't feel any dead zones, and I was able to fly it absolutely beautifully perfect, which is really crazy for a cheap plastic controller. Now, one thing did bother me with the controller though. It's the size of the thumb stick. I just couldn't get that precision that I wanted because they're so fat. But again, this is not a deal breaker, and it might be good for a beginner. But since I'm so used to it being so small, and that's what she said, it just feels a little bit different. So it's not a deal breaker, but you will tend to notice it, especially if you've been flying for a while. However, if you're a beginner, this is not going to affect your flying whatsoever. The most important thing to look out for is the dead zone. But in this case, we don't have any dead zone, and it works out really great. It's very responsive, and that's something really nice and I really like to see here. So in terms of the controller, it gets an A+, especially for the price they're selling it. So now let's go ahead and discuss the goggles themselves here. Now what's really nice is they give you a battery. It's actually a battery case that fits 18650, but they also do give you the battery inside. And again, to make your life so much easier, they even have a USB charging port here, just so you don't have to find some sort of a battery charger for 18650. So that I really like. They're using silicone wires. You connect it and it just boots up. There is no need to press a button or anything, so try not to forget this on, because it'll just drain out the battery here. Now in terms of the goggle, usually the cheap goggles are a bit scary or a bit shitty actually, to be honest. However, in this case, that was not the case, which is very surprising yet again. This is a pretty decent goggle. Now, I'm not saying in terms of range. As you can tell, I put this little antenna right here on it just to give it a little bit better range. But even with its stock antennas, which are these right here, it still performs really great indoor, which is something I really like. That means the onboard receiver they're using inside here, anyways, those are all very cheap. So the sensitivity and the overall PCB design of the way that's set up in here is really great. However, there is one thing I wish they would have added here, was some sort of a DVR to record the footage. So you're not going to be able to really record on this, but instead you're going to get a proper flying experience, because this is very rare. It fit my face. It was very enjoyable to fly. I was only flying with this. I didn't need to switch out to my Fat Shark. And also I was able to see the screen clearly, and the resolution is decent. You know, it was pretty good actually. I didn't have any problems with it. So in terms of the goggles, again, for the price, this is an absolute winner in my opinion. I haven't seen anybody create such a kit like this, which is really crazy. It's insane what Emax has done here. However, now we come down to the quadcopter itself here. Now the quadcopter in default, when you get out of the box, it does have 3 modes to select from, which we'll cover in a bit here. Now this one is slightly different than the normal micros we're kind of flying right now, because this is actually using brushed motors, which I think are the 0816 size right here. So they're pretty beefy, beefier than some of the other cheap brushed quadcopters you could find on the market, like the Eachine ones. So that's nice into that perspective. That means you have more power, more control, and overall stability in the air is absolutely beautiful, just like the Emax Tiny Hawk. I don't know how the hell Emax does this, but when you fly, this thing just stays locked in its position, and that's something I'm just always amazed at with all these little tiny Emax brushless micros and brushed micros here. Now also another nice thing about the design is they have a lot of experience, or recently gotten more experience with this plastic design in order to make it slightly more durable, and I have been crushing this quite a lot and not even a single problem. It is somewhat flexible, so it can take an impact, and I haven't had to change the propellers on it whatsoever, which again is really great. Now if we move to the camera, I was like, okay, well, all this is good, maybe the cameras are going to be shitty, and guess what? it actually wasn't. It was also really good and very decent. It's not going to hinder your flying performance whatsoever, which then again is amazing. I still can't believe how I'm just looking for that one thing to catch them off guard with, but I can't find anything. You know, even a battery charger for this, they do provide you, which is right there. You just plug that in, plug it in the USB, and it starts charging, and you don't need to worry about anything. So now we get into the flight modes here. So it has angle, and it has these two other modes, which are basically altitude hold modes. And one with a disabled yaw and one with an enabled yaw, and I'll explain what that means in a bit. So when you first get it, the way to arm it first of all is obviously both of them have to be powered on. You switch this one, the 2-position switch has to be up facing you. That means it's armed. Now if you give it a little bit of throttle, it's not going to take off because it's an altitude hold mode. So the first two modes, which is this is the one all the way down, and this mode are basically altitude hold but slightly mixed, and I'll explain what those mean. And the last one all the way up is, to be honest, the mode you want to be flying in, because that will get you prepared into the acro style or the acro mode of flying. This is going to be what they call angle mode. Now angle mode is, it just allows you to move front and back, but it does not allow you to completely flip. So that's what angle mode is, and the rates they've set up on here are very minimal. So, you know, even the angle that it tilts isn't that much. And in my opinion, it's really good for beginners, especially when I gave it to my assistant, because usually people who start tend to push all the way, and it's just, it doesn't allow it to move so much all the way. It has really nice slow rates for indoors, and it is pretty enjoyable. Even if you're a good pilot, it's actually pretty enjoyable, especially in tight areas to fly. It's very tameable in the air, and what's really nice, you don't even have to fight this. Sometimes with these little brushed micros, when you start doing yaw spins, it'll kind of just go weird and lose control. However, in this case, that is not happening, which is again something you also really want in a micro quadcopter. And the reason for that is we're using beefier motors, pretty decent sized propellers here, and a big HV battery. So we are using HV batteries here, and that gives it more power to the motor. So that's why it's so stable in the air. And this is by far one of the most proper beginner kits you could give anybody, because the only thing they have to worry about is learning to fly. They don't have to worry about fighting it. They don't have to worry about a dead zone on the controller. They don't have to worry about not being able to see what the hell is in front of them. Everything in this kit is made for you just to charge, plug in, and fly. And that is amazing. Now, let's talk about the other two modes here, which are pretty interesting here. I think it's the last one here, which still has, you'll have to mix and match with them. So basically right now, if we armed it and we give it throttle, nothing is going to happen. You might think it's broken. But these two modes with the altitude hold mode, the last two back there, the quadcopter won't go up unless you full deflect. And then when you let it go, it has a dead zone like this where it doesn't move up or down. It tries to keep its altitude. And then you could basically just fly with, you know, one side. And that's how it goes. If you want to go higher, you full deflect and put it back in the middle. And if you want to go down, it's the same concept. Both of these modes do that. However, one of the modes allows you to only just fly, you know, maneuver with this. The other mode with altitude hold allows you to still use yaw and roll and everything you would in angle mode, but with altitude hold. But I find it very flimsy. It does keep its altitude pretty decently, but you know, it's nothing compared to what a GPS lock would do. And I also would highly recommend you just push it all the way forward and just fly that real angle mode to get you prepared into the real acro mode. Now, let's talk about flight time. So for flight time, I would say 3 minutes. Don't push it more than 3, depending on how you fly. If you're flying like crazy, I don't think you could get 4 minutes of flight time. I couldn't get real 4 minutes of flight time. I think the maximum was 3 minutes 20, and around 3 minutes 40, that's it. The thing stopped hovering, basically just kept going to the floor because I basically over discharged the battery. So keep that in mind also. So try not to fly more than 3 minutes, and that's the case on most of these out there. So but 3 minutes is still pretty good flight time for such a massive, powerful little quadcopter that's really stable in the air, and that's something I really like here. I'm gonna leave it at that, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Everything's linked down below. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.